جدد المداد يا الله اسقينا بالمداد يا الله.
Like the angels came down and then removed something from his heart. You know what I'm talking about, isn't it? When the angels came down, opened his chest and so much more. But according to you, what happened that day? What did the angels do? What do you think it was? Share with me. Yes.
From what I heard it was the influence of shaytan.
The influence of shaytan.
Black speck.
Okay. Somebody else?
They washed his heart with Zamzam.
Why did they wash his heart?
He was already pure, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So they, upon the order of their Lord, did something that we might not fully be able to understand or explain.
So it's actually, I don't know. Yes, please. No, it was when he was a child. When he was a child, they opened his chest, removed his heart, and then did something and returned his heart to his chest. Okay, in very brief, every person is born with a part in his heart which is not visible to the eye. And shaytan, like the Prophet ﷺ says, inspires man, or men and women, and through this piece, and it's like an opening in the heart which we can't see. Shaytan has a trunk, like the Prophet ﷺ says, this particular shaytan who does waswasa and puts it on this on this space or place of the heart, and then he does waswasa. And this only happens when you're an adolescent. It's not when you're a child. There is no waswasa when you're a child. And so the Prophet ﷺ's heart was taken out, and that part which the shaitan would use, and which has never been used, and which is not evil on its own, is what was closed. It was closed so that he would never ever have the opportunity to do something with it. But nothing ever happened with it, and it on its own is not a bad thing. It's when it is used by shaitan that it's an entrance to the heart. So that entrance was locked and closed by the angels. Is that clear? Okay. So now the other question which arises is, well, I said that the iman of the prophets always increases, never decreases. Then why does the Prophet ﷺ say, I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive me at least 7 times a day? You see? He asks Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive him. إِنِّي أَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ وَأَتُوبُ إِلَيْهِ فِي كُلِّ يَوْمٍ إِنَّ الْوَايَ 100 مَرَّةٍ. Every day I do tawbah and I ask Allah for forgiveness. Every day more than 100 times. So now you can say, why is he doing this? Well, Imam Munawi rahimahullah azza wa jalla in his book Faith al-Qadir, and he goes over it, but some of the possible explanations he mentioned was one, because as the iman of the prophets is always increasing, they had the feeling that the point they were at now was not befitting for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So when they look down, they look at their previous status, they say, oh, that was not good. While actually it was good, it was nothing but good. So that is the first one. The second one is because they always have the feeling of shafaqa, ishfaq. That no matter how good you are, you always know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala deserves more than you give. So this would be the reason for his istighfar. Another reason they say no, he was leading by example. He had no reason to do istighfar for, but people listening to him say, if he is doing istighfar, and he is ma'soom, he hasn't got any sins, then we should be the first ones to do istighfar. And that would be a third option, you see. So, apart from this, I have been asked, what is the difference between ma'soom and between mahfuz? Ma'soom, the anbiya, the rusul being ma'soomin or ma'soomun. Al-isma means that you do not sin and don't have the possibility, nor the urge, nor the yearn, nor the passion for sinning. That's the isma. You are protected by Allah, not only against the sin, but also against emotionally or yani desiring for the sin. As for people who are close to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they can be mahfuz. Mahfuz means that they are protected, but not that they are infallible. Meaning they are subjected to the possibility of sinning, but they just don't because they are protected. Is that clear? So this is the difference between ma'soom and between mahfuz. The angels as well are ma'soom. Yani they have al-isma, they do not sin. So I would advise you to read the book of Fakhruddin al-Razi, which is called Ismatul Anbiya, and the book of Dr. Salah al-Khalidi, which is Mawaqif al-Anbiya. So these two books, they talk about whether the prophets sin or do they commit minor sins, yes or no, and what are their minor sins, and so much more. Okay? So that in brief. Is there another question about the issue? Yes.
Do all the prophets have their partners?
We don't know, but we know that all the prophets are protected against shaytan. So, but we don't know if, yes.
If it was a closing of the entrance, then
Yes.
why did it happen at least twice? Because we know it happened at least twice in his life.
Yes.
If the entrance was closed the first time, why did it happen again?
Well, I didn't speak about the second time.
Okay.
Yes. No.
Was the second time not when just before going to Isra and Miraj? Was it just before then?
No, it happened when he was little as well.
Oh.
Yeah. It actually, some say it was 3 times. Let us talk about that in the class of Sina. Okay. So I was just answering the class of Ma'soom and protected and so much more. Okay. Is there another question you would like to ask? Nobody? Yes.
So you know before when you were talking about the angels during the Sabah of Kaaba and during Hajj etc. You said children who die and are in the care of Ibrahim. I wanted to know more about that. I didn't catch that. So are the angels up there around the Kaaba? I'm sorry, no, the children, are they up there with the Kaaba?
Yes, so the children of those who died, I'm sorry, children that died when they were little, now they are being taken care of at the Bayt al-Ma'mur. At the Kaaba, their souls are being taken care of by that noble messenger. Yes.
It's a bit of a silly question, but I've heard people saying, like in the Sufi area, kind of circles, that when the angel passes by or brushes past your shoulder, you get this electric shock or a shiver or something. Is there any dalil for that?
We have no straightforward proof for that. Which doesn't mean it's not true, but revelation is not the same as experience. Revelation is for everybody, experience is for some. Yes?
So see, in the Quran, Jesus says that Hazrat Ibrahim alayhi salam, when he actually visited, the meal, and they didn't touch the meal. So the question of that is, do they eat, sleep?
No, we mentioned that in the first class.
Okay.
And we refer to that story as well. And then it was mentioned that they don't eat and they don't sleep. And that Ibrahim proposed them something to eat because he thought that they were human beings. Because they came in the shape of humans. And not...
See, I wasn't here. That's all.
Okay, no problem. So it's on YouTube. You can listen to it if you like. Yes. Somebody else? Yes.
Could you tell us what are the things that drive the angels from our homes? And what
We will get to that. Yes, in our last class, we will talk about all of these things which cause angels to curse us, to wanting to destroy us, to wanting to drag us into hell, to leave our houses, to despise us, dislike us. That's the last one. So now everything is still very happy. So Allah, okay, A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. Bismillahir-Rahmanir-Rahim. One of the beautiful things is that Jibreel alayhi salam led the prayer as an imam for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam twice. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam said that Jibreel alayhi salam was his imam. Now, twice. He says, أَمَّنِي جِبْرِيل عِنْدَ الْبَيْتِ مَرَّتَيْنِ. So, and this is in Al-Bukhari. So that Jibreel alayhi salam prayed with Muhammad alayhi salam behind him, teaching him how to pray. So what we understand from this is that the Prophet ﷺ was taught by Jibreel many things, and one of them is wudu, as we know. Jibreel leading by example once again, and then praying the prayer with the Prophet ﷺ to teach him how to pray. Jibreel was very often in contact with the Messenger ﷺ. Also, when the people did magic on the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Now the Mu'tazila, they deny, they say that's impossible, that the Prophet ﷺ was done magic too. So they say because if this happens, then that means that he didn't know what he was saying, or that at the time being where he was being done sihr too, that we actually can't say that he was aware of the revelation he was sharing with people. So we say no. The sihr he had was very specific, and it was every time when it was prayer time. That I'm going to say it very very short because there are children here. So that he would ask, "Am I in a state of wudu, yes or no?" So that he would ask, and that was the only thing that he would forget. And maybe another time we can share what it exactly was. But anyway, so this was it. So it didn't have anything to do with his aql, with his mind, with revelation, with nothing. So yes, he was done magic too. But that, subhanAllah, this was the very reason why Surah the Mu'awwidhatayn were revealed. Falaq al-Nas, like Jibreel alayhi salam came down and he read Surah al-Falaq and Surah al-Nas for the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Okay? The next thing is the angels. We already told you that they inspire you to do good. But now there is something else. The Prophet ﷺ has said that the angels, they have your, subhanAllah, your face in reins. We say reins, that you have like a host. It's a hakam. So when you say something which is good, they raise your head, without you knowing it. So they inspire, when they want you to say good, they go like this, and when they leave you, it's when you are left to your own. So exactly like a horse, like when you pull, it stops from running. When you leave it, you give it, it runs away. And this is the angels holding you back as well, without you knowing it. Like when they hold you back, you're not running towards haram. When they leave you, then that's the way you run towards haram. So this is what the angels, subhanAllah, are doing with you. And this hadith is an authentic hadith. And this is the hakama that the angels have. So sometimes, subhanAllah, when you say, I couldn't control myself, well, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sometimes controls you when you say, I don't know how I was able to control myself. You were helped. We are weak human beings. We go by emotions. But if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala assists us, we go by His protection. So this is also one of the things that the angels do. They hold you back. And then we said that the angels, they touch the human being. Do you remember? And when they touch you, you are inspired to do good. And when the shaytan touches you, you are inspired to do bad. Now you can ask yourself, where is justice then? Where is justice? Like, angel touches me, I'm doing bad. Devil touches me, I'm doing bad. Angel touches me, I'm doing good. Where's the justice? Well, you still have to make that transition between feeling and thought and action. That action is yours. You see? And this is why we mentioned that shaytan, when he enters into hellfire, what will he say? إِنَّمَا دَعَوْتُكُمْ فَاسْتَجَبْتُمْ لِي. The only thing I did was inviting you and you obeyed me. But nevertheless, the shaytan touches you and what? The angel. How do I differentiate between the shaytan touching me and angel touching me? What is the difference? Now, how can I differentiate between it? And how do I know? Well, it's very easy when something is bad and something is good, that this is from Ar-Rahman and this from shaytan. But what if it's two good things? You're in front of two good things. Now you think shaytan is gone, right? Shaytan is playing chess. Like when you play chess, sometimes you need to sacrifice the queen to get to the king. So this is what shaytan is doing. It's giving you the impression, well, good deed, good deed. But actually, he's trying to divert you from a better deed. You see this? And this is in your emotion. Like you have two good deeds. So how are you now going to choose when for you they seem to be the same? They say, when you are in a state of sinning, choose for the deed which feels the most heavy on your shoulders. Because when you sin, you are going by your mind and your body, not by your soul. So when you're in a state of sinning a lot and not really doing a lot for Allah Jalla wa Ala, then choose the deed which is the most heavy for you to do. That's the best deed. When you're in a period of time where you are really doing a lot of good things, take the most beloved deed to you, because you will be choosing with your soul. You see? And if they are both alike, and you don't know, like, I'm not really sinning a lot, but I'm not really, like, I'm quite neutral to these days, then choose and pick the deed you would like to die upon. Okay? So there are three possibilities, isn't it? Like if you're in a you're in a period of time where you sin a lot, choose the deed which is the most heavy upon your shoulders. When you're in a period where you don't sin as much, choose the deed which you really like to do. And when you just don't know because you're in a neutral state, you're not really sinning a lot, not really doing a lot good either, then say, well, how would I like to die? Is it while praying or while kissing the feet of my mother? You see? So this is why you need to do this. So the one sharing this with us is actually Hibatullah al-Barizi, rahimahullah, died in 638. And he's talking about the fiqh of the priorities and the art of intention. So this is what he's talking about in this book. Anyway, I translated all the book. It's in English, bad English. I have the book. I will share it with you so that it can be looked at if I find time. Okay, any questions about this? Was it clear how we are going to define which deed we have to do? So shaytan, as I said, he might inspire you, but not always with bad things. Sometimes he might inspire you with something good to prevent you from doing something better. And to give one example, you wake up and you want to pray at night because you want to be a night prayer warrior, and you say, I need some cleansing of the soul, and the best way to do this is standing up in prayer. And you know your wife had a very rough time with the baby. The baby just was vaccinated, so he's crying all the time, he's feverish, and the dishes weren't done. The dishes weren't done. And I'm not saying that she should do the dishes, that's not what I'm trying to say. But what I'm saying is, they weren't done, the clothes weren't ironed or whatever, something she was supposed to do because she wanted to do it during dangerous times. And so not the macho culture where you understand what I mean. And now, so what are you going to do? You wake up at night and you say, I'm going to pray. Or are you going to say, I'm going to do everything while she is sleeping, going to clean everything, prepare, make the, how do you call it? How do you say, prepare the meal for my child to take it home? Lunch packet? Yeah. I'm going to prepare the lunch package of the children. Yeah, cutting bread. What's cutting bread, Asim? So I'm going to cut the bread, I'm going to clean the house, and I'm going, to do all of this. So that when she wakes up, she's happy. Now, which of both is the best? Tell me. The one you will most likely love most is praying at night. And that's where you went wrong. Praying during the night is, at that moment when you know that something else is important, is no more than a narcissistic way of worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's very egoistic and egocentric, right? So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to do the other thing. And then when you do this once, well, you see, we're on the same page. No. So this is what happens. And sometimes people become angry because of a form of worship, right? You wake up to pray at night, and all of a sudden that same child who had his vaccine, was vaccinated, wakes up, starts crying. You say, calm him down, I got to work tomorrow. Or you can just say, give him to me. You sleep, you always wake up for the baby. You start talking. The baby waking up. And then when he doesn't start sleeping, when he doesn't want to sleep, you don't just go like this. You keep on smiling, keep on hugging, giving it a kiss. This at that particular moment is 1,000 times better than your night prayer. You see? And that other was just the filthy ego, the dirty me, who just wants to pray and this is important, now I'm a mu'min. But when I do this, I'm a loser. Why? Because you take care of your child anyway. You see? So shaytan has a job. So next time, remember what I said. Shaytan is playing chess. Sometimes he will sacrifice the queen to get to your king. And this is why Ibn Arabi has a book, and it's called Shranj al-Arifin, Chess of the Knowers of Allah. And has a chessboard that he designed. Like when he does that, you should do this and this. But when now you make this move after done that move, he will bring you down all the way back. You see? So you will lose your queen or whatever. So that's called Shranj al-Arifin with a sharh of Shaykh al-Farsi, rahimahullah, about 200 years ago, 150 years ago. A beautiful book. That makes you quite chessy. Okay, any questions? Does somebody want to ask, is chess halal? Let's continue. So this is what they do. SubhanAllah, Ya Rabbi, look at the angels asking. The Prophet ﷺ said, once again about the angels inspiring the human beings, right? إِذَا أَوَى الْإِنسَانُ إِلَى فِرَاشِهِ ابْتَدَرَهُ مَلَكٌ وَشَيْطَانٌ فيقول الملك اختم بخير ويقول الشيطان اختم بالشر. Yani when someone goes to bed, an angel and a devil run towards him. The angel says, finish your day in a good way. And the devil says, finish your day in a bad way. You know? So this is sometimes, and that's this little voice that we sometimes hear, you know, like you're in your bed and you say, you know what if I were to pray 2 rakat? Or you go to bed and you went to bed without wudu, and you know that you like to sleep with wudu. How many people say, subhanAllah, every time I go for wudu and I sleep, I don't sleep well, I have nightmares, whatever. So you're in your bed, you say, should I make wudu? Come on, make wudu. It's so cold. You know, you're talking to yourself. Well, who inspired you? Who reminded you? That's this angel running up to you when you go to your bed. Shouldn't you read Ayatul Kursi? I'm so tired. Read it. So everything which comes to you while you are laying down on your bed, which like seems to be coming out of nowhere, it's not out of nowhere. It's an angel. And then you can talk to the angels, but don't do that when people look at you. Now, when you start talking, one of the Sahaba used to talk with these angels. You know, and then I don't know if they were talking back. That hasn't been confirmed by Imam al-Qurtubi in his book Isti'ab fi Ma'rifat al-Ashab. He says that he was talking to his angels. So you can thank them, you know. It's not shirk. And it's not shirk. Why? Because thanking is not ibadah. Right? So some people say, no, this is shirk. Like once I was giving a khutbah. I was delivering a khutbah in Belgium. And I said I was in a traffic jam and somebody was driving in front of me and I had to be on time to deliver this khutbah. That was that khutbah. So I said, please get out of the way, I need to be on time. Then after that, one of the brothers came to me and he said, Imam, you just did shirk on the minbar. I said, okay, I lost you. Where? He said, did I make a cross or something? What did I do? He said, no, you said that people were driving in front of you and you told them, please get out of the way because I need to be on time. Did they hear you when you said this? I said, no. So why do you call upon those who can't hear you? It's a true story. I wish it wasn't, but it was. So I brother, this isn't shirk. He said, yes, it is. I said, okay, it is. I said, go to your friends and tell them that I'm Muslim. I said, astaghfirullah. I said, yes, go. Tell them. So anyway, So that was one of these things that happened, right? So this is not shirk, because the angels, I'm going to share with you a hadith next week, before we get into the cursing of the angels and so forth, like where you are allowed to ask the angels to help you to find your way when you are lost. And it's an authentic hadith. You see? Why? Because you don't worship them. Like if I can ask you, why shouldn't I be allowed to ask an angel? I'm not asking him things which only Allah can do. When I get lost, I ask him, do you know I'm here? Can you please help me? I don't see that person. Right? It's just my phone. So, angel, same thing. If I were to ask the angel, I would say, give me rizq. Now, or I don't know, protect me against hellfire, whatever. That would be a problem. So we don't ask things from creation which only Allah can give. That would be problematic, see? So anywhere, here, you can thank the angels. So like, you can really become friends with them, you know? They inspire you to do good. When you go to bed, you say, shouldn't you do wudu? You say, Barakallah feek, really, I should. And you go and you do it. And why should you do this? Because then you enter into the true world, you see? This is the true world. And we are always in front of the veil, but we never go behind the veil. And the moment you go behind the veil, maybe you will not see them with your eyes, but you will always be aware of their existence. And that's important, because your belief in their existence and your awareness of it should be as strong as you believing that there is something in his bottle. No difference at all. Okay, let's continue. إذا آوى الإنسان إلى فراشه ابتدره ملك وشيطان فيقول الملك اختم بخير ويقول الشيطان اختم بالشر. Now finish your day in a bad way. فإذا ذكر الله حتى يغلبه يعني النوم طرد الملك الشيطان. You see? He said now, and when this person, after being inspired by the angel to do good, starts saying the dhikr of Allah until he falls asleep, then the shaitan pushes the devil away. He said, he listened to me. But now on the other side, he says, فَإِذَا اسْتَيْقَظَ if he doesn't do this, then the shaitan will be inspiring him through the night. Do you know that if you sleep without wudu, you sleep without dhikr, you sleep without protection, that you can even wake up without faith? You can have a dream convincing you of leaving your deen. Didn't the Prophet ﷺ speak about the end of times? And he said, يُمْسِي الرَّجُلُ فِيهِ مُؤْمِنًا وَيُصْبِحُ كَافِرًا. Someone enters into the evening as a mu'min, not just a Muslim, as a true believer. And he wakes up as a disbeliever. What happened? The fitna of shaitan can also come through your dreams. You see? So this is why when you sleep with tahara, when you sleep while you are in the state of wudu, and you do dhikr before you sleep, Allah, the angel just pushes that shaitan away. And if not, then you'll be left to the shaitan during your sleep. And the same thing when you wake up. فَإِذَا اسْتَيْقَظَ ابْتَدَرَهُ مَلَكٌ وَشَيْطَانٌ. And when he wakes up, then a shaitan, or an angel and a shaitan come to him. And the angel says, افتح يومك بخير. Start your day in a good way. And the angel says, start your day in a bad way. So look at the first thing you do when you wake up. The sunnah when you wake up is very easy. When you wake up, what do? The first thing you do is you blow your nose 3 times. Not really blowing, like going like this. 3 times. Why? Because the Prophet ﷺ said, shaytan sleeps on your nostrils or in your nose and the bone. That is where he sleeps during the night. يَبِيتُ الشَّيْطَانُ عَلَى خَيْشُمِ. And shaytan sleeps here. So when you blow your nose 3 times gently, then this will be undone. Then you do the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Alhamdulillahi alladhi radda ilayya ruhi, or so many different things. Ahyani ba'dama amatani, you can say so many different things. You do this and then you go over your face. You go like this. This is what the Prophet ﷺ used to do. And to be quite frank, when you look at it from a scientific point of view, you see that it helps your blood to circulate again. So you won't have the get out of my bed and I'm about to fall down again, like you feel very dizzy. You have this sometimes, right? You get up immediately and you lose your balance. You won't have this when you go like that. Then you perform wudu and then you perform your prayers. The Prophet ﷺ said, يَعْقِدُ الشَّيْطَانُ عَلَى قَافِيَةِ أَحَدِكُمْ إِذَا هُوَ نَامْ ثَلَاثَ عُقَدٍ يَضْرِبُ عَلَى كُلِّ عُقْدَةٍ مَكَانَهَا عَلَيْكَ لَيْلٌ طَوِيلٌ فَارْقُدْ. And every time that someone goes to bed, shaytan slaps him in the neck. Imam Ibn Dahlan, he said in these about this hadith, slapping in the neck is humiliating for the Arabs. Like the Arabs, even if it's your friend, like in Jordan, if you go, how are you? I mean, you're about to get knocked down. That's like very disrespectful. You never go like this. So shaytan yadribu ala qafiyati ahadikum idha wana. He does this every time you go asleep. Go asleep. Go. You know? So and then he what? He ties 3 knots and he blows in each one of these knots. عليك ليل طويل فارقد. You have a long night, so sleep. Then another one. عليك ليل طويل فارقد. عليك ليل طويل فارقد. So now, and then he slaps on it, and they say this is the sihr of shaytan. He's doing sihr with you. وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. And against the evil of those who blow on these knots. Yani, this is sihr. That's what they do. So shaytan does sihr every time you go asleep. So now the Prophet ﷺ, he says, يَضْرِبُ كُلَّ عُقْدَةٍ مَكَانَهَا عَلَيْكَ لَيْلٌ طَوِيلٌ فَارْقُدْ فَإِذَا اسْتَيْقَظَ وَذَكَرَ اللَّهَ انْحَلَّتْ عُقْدَةٌ. He says, and then when someone wakes up and does the dhikr of Allah, then one knot is undone. Untied or undone? Undone. Then he says, فَإِذَا تَوَضَّأَ انْحَلَّتْ عُقْدَةٌ. And when then he performs wudu, another knot is undone. And he says, فَإِذَا صَلَّى انْحَلَّتْ عُقَدُهُ كُلُّهَا. And then when he prays, all of the knots are undone. And he says, and if he then prays, أَصْبَحَ طَيِّبًا نَشِيطًا النَّفْسِ. And if he doesn't, أَصْبَحَ سَيِّئَ النَّفْسِ كَسْلًا. He says that if he does this, a person does this, like dhikr, wudu, salah, he wakes up in a good mood and with energy, energized. And if this is not how he or she wakes up, he wakes up in a bad mood and lazy. So when you wake up, it's all about listening to the inspiration of the angel, reminding you to do these things. And this is very often like when someone wakes up at night and you go to the bathroom, for example, you always have that little voice. If you have a bit of iman and you want a connection with Allah and you're going towards the bathroom and then back to your bed, you have this little voice saying, why not 2 rak'at? Just pray, just 2 rak'at. But you can't. Why? Because you didn't undo the knots. You're like in zombie status. You're still in your sihr. No, but I can't. I will be tired tomorrow. So how are you back to bed? But if you wake up and you immediately go, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, whatever, one knot is undone. He hasn't got the same power over you now. So when now you woke, I know it's difficult, but make that wudu. 2 knots are undone. Then you pray 2 raka'at, you're free of his sihr. The Prophet ﷺ said that when someone sleeps until Fajr, that the shaitan has urinated in his ear. So shaitan, doing sihr, urinating in your ear, doing all these things, inspiring you with evil things before you go to bed, while you sleep, when you wake up. Khalas. And there comes a time where you need to take up your spiritual arms and shields to protect yourselves against him and to go against him. Spiritual, I said, not literal. Is that clear? So this is what is happening. So when you wake up, subhanAllah, you know that shaitan, like subhanAllah, is running to you. Like that coward. He runs to you and says, I'm going to get him today. No, you're not. Wudu. Yeah, you feel like really he's not having you. Right? Okay. MashaAllah, this beautiful word. Okay, we said this as well, so I'm not going to repeat that one. Are there there any questions? Yes.
So two questions. First one is that when you know the angels tell us to do good each time you come to
None.
how do you know it's not the shaytan that's making you do too much work?
No, too much is only when you see that the result of it is giving up. No. So sometimes people can overburden themselves with good actions, and that can also be from shaitan. He wants you to do as much as you, more than you can bear, so that at the end you will give it all up. So this is why we follow the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, which was very moderate. Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ was very moderate. He would fast like 2 times a week, or he would fast 3 times a month, 3 days a month. His night prayer was, there was a lot of sleeping, and there was less sleeping than praying. No, there was more sleeping than praying, you see. And so this is how he taught us to do it. So if you are going to look at all of this, you see that you can never overburden yourself with the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. You can overburden yourself when you are going to people telling you to do this, do that, do such, and this can become too much of a certain. Or if you try to make that elixir yourself, I'm going to pour a bit of soap and then a bit of, a bit of salah, and then I do some Quran, and then visiting the sick, and then you all of a sudden it's too much. Okay, so the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ is to visit the sick when it's needed. It is to bury the dead when it is your responsibility. It is attending a janazah either when it's present or when you're invited towards it. So you shouldn't like wake up and look for all the janazahs and all the people to bury. It's really what comes into your day, and you have your fixed ibadat that you never ever stop doing. Who had a question? Yes.
The angels were present in the Battle of Badr.
Yes.
But were they also present in the Battle of Uhud?
They take part in all the battles. Yes. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke about Badr to emphasize on the point that from a quantity point of view they should have lost, but that they were actually strengthened by the angels.
About the angels and
Yes.
fighting, did the angels participate in every Muslim battle that's happened in history?
That we don't know.
The Crusades.
Because not, how can I say this? It's not everything which a Muslim does is always right, correct, and good. Do you understand what I mean? So if for example, a Muslim were to protect the country where he lives, right, and people would invade into a country in a certain context, I can't explain everything. But anyway, angels, in the time of the Prophet ﷺ, they participated in every battle. And angels today, they still help people who are oppressed. We should also know that angels don't only help Muslims. Angels stand by the truth. Even if a Muslim were to wrong a non-Muslim, the angel wouldn't be standing next to the Muslim. He would rather be in front of the Muslim, stopping him from harming people. If you understand what I mean? So our religion is always about who is on the truth, not with who we are talking about. Muslim or non-Muslim doesn't change anything for Allah when it comes down to the truth. Is that clear? Yes. Now you go first and then you. Yes.
I've heard that obviously when you're eating, say Bismillah before shaitan doesn't eat with you, because obviously the shaitan eats with you.
Yes.
I've heard the same about entering your house, going to bed, etc.
Yes.
And then I've heard that if the shaitan eats with you, goes to bed and comes into your house, he's protected and strengthened, but he's strengthened by that because he
Yes.
gets sustenance and stuff, and then he has more power
No.
over. Is that?
That's a hadith. Yes, it's a straightforward hadith what you are saying. Now.
Could you tell us a little about how, if at all, angels are affected by photographs or images?
That's a very good question. I'm going to elaborate on that next week. I don't know if you will be there or not. Okay, so we're going to talk about that. Everything which has to do with the angels not wanting to be with us and so forth. That's for next week. Okay, so let us very quickly, we have 5 minutes left here on me. So the angels, they have a different connection to you in harmony with the strength of your faith. So the stronger your faith is, the more they will love you. Is that clear? So this is why the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ تَبَارَكَ وَتَعَالَى إِذَا أَحَبَّ عَبْدًا نَادَى جِبْرِيلَ إِنَّ اللَّهَ أَحَبَّ فُلَانًا فَأَحِبُّهُ. I said this hadith at the very beginning. When Allah loves a servant, He says, I love that person, being a man or a woman. And He calls Jibreel, and He says, I love that person, love him. So He loves him. And then Jibreel calls the angels from the skies, and then He says, Allah and I love this person, so love him. So they love him. So their love increases for you. But their love for you is at its strongest when Allah has declared His love to you in front of the angels. How big of a thing is this? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala declaring that He loves you in front of Jibreel, that He thinks that you're so worthy of being loved that He wants to share the love He has for you with the best of His creation, or with the most pure of His creation. You see this? So what we understand from this is, and what we take away from this is that when we love someone, we need to tell that someone that we love them. And I already spoke about this, that this is a sunnah which has died. Now, when you say, أُحِبُّكَ فِي اللَّهِ, I love you for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's sake. Now they say that a woman should not say this to a man if they are not married or she's not a mahram. Because this can happen, like when women ask a question to a sheikh, for example, sheikh, we have loved you for the sake of Allah, this and that. Word love and not being mahram don't go together. Don't go together. Now, we don't share this, we don't express this. Now, even though that this might be true, you love the Muslims for the sake of Allah, all of them, the men and the women of them, but the expression of it opens door to fitan. So we don't do that. Then we say, Barakallahu feekum, for example, I have enjoyed your classes, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you, something like that. But the word love doesn't come here. Is that clear? Okay. So we know now, Barakallahu feekum, that subhanallah, when we love someone, we will share that with someone. And I already said, we share that with our brothers, sisters amongst themselves, share that as well. But to your parents, or to your wife or your husband, I spoke about that, you can just say, I love you. So the for the sake of Allah is not necessary here, right? It's just natural, biological, human love. Okay. So now, the Prophet ﷺ said, "من سأل القضاء وكل إلى نفسه ومن أجبر عليه ينزل الله عليه ملكا فيسدده." Like if you are looking for problems and the problems come down upon you, then Allah just leaves you to yourself. But when the problems come down upon you without you having caused the problem, then Allah makes an angel responsible over you to take care of your matters. You see that? Like if you yourself, you're looking for problems, well, the angel won't come down to protect you against it. But if you now are facing problems which you haven't caused, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala very often will protect you. But not always. Sometimes it's just, a test, right? So the last thing for today, inshallah, is Allah. The last one is the angels praying for you. That's the last one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Inna Allah wa malaikatahu yusalluna ala nabi, but He also says, Huwa alladhi yusalli alaykum wa malaikatuh. He is the one that prays for you. Allah talks about the mu'mineen, the believers. He, Allah, is the one that prays for you, and His angels, so that He will take you out of the obscurity into the light. And verily Allah has a lot of rahmah for the mu'mineen. So Allah didn't say Muslimin. It means that when you have, and He says, وَكَانَ بِالْمُؤْمِنِينَ رَحِيمًا. He didn't say وَكَانَ بِالْمُسْلِمِينَ رَحِيمًا. Why? Because the malaika only perform prayers for the mu'mineen. What is the prayer of the malaika? Well, the result of it is that you will have light. What is the light? You will see things clearly in your life. You will know which choices to make. You will, these kind of things. But what is their salah? Because definitely they don't perform sujood and prayer for us. So they say it is ثناؤهم عليك عند الملأ الأعلى, that your name is mentioned in the highest circles of the world of the angels. That they just talk about you. So the stronger your iman gets, the more important you are to the angels. Like if they see you do a lot of good deeds, they just sit together in circles and they talk about you. Jibreel, Mikael, Israfil, Malik al-Maut, the Hamlat al-Arsh, whatever. And those who come together and they will say, let us discuss the matter of this person. Do you know what he's up to? He was invoking his Lord during the night. He was giving away £5 when he only had £10. And you know, they debate, they like to talk about you in a good way. So, and this is the salah of the angels. Like Imam al-Haramain, rahimahullah, as I mentioned, according to Imam al-Qurtubi, rahimahullah, it's thana'um alayka fil mala'i al-a'la. The salah of the angels is that they talk about you in the highest circles. The best of best, the strongest of strongest angels. And what is the result? Light. So this is in very brief, some of these beautiful things. If you go home, we have said so many different things, and actually every single tiny thing which would be actually have been sufficient to change or transform something in our lives. So digest it, write it down, place it in front of your eyes. What I do when I'm into a new subject, these post-its, like I post it all over your house. Like when you or your family open, the cupboard and you want to take a sauce or whatever, there is a hadith. And then when you look into the mirror, you have a post-it. When you go up the stairs, you have a post-it. So turn that what you're being taught into something you are being reminded of. Because we need to transform, or we need to turn this into our real world. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala a'lam. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless the sitting and gathering, and to forgive me for my shortcomings, and to reward you for your lack of shortcomings, as I ask him subhanahu wa ta'ala to gather us on his arsh on the day of judgment, like he gathered us here.